Welcome to another episode of Me, Myself, and I. Again, here to talk to myself, of course. This video today is sponsored by, as usual, youhadmeshirts.com. Damn, I always forget the name of that. I don't know why, it's my business, but anyways, go to the website, upload a shirt, and then we'll print one for you. Or you can print one of the ones that are already made. Now it's time to talk about what goes on inside my head. Today's topic is raising children, but first the song. Now that was crazy. But I guess he was trying to protect himself. Raising children. First, let's start with possession. You know, we tend to have this issue where we think we possess and own our children. They are free spirits. They can think about whatever they want. They give us the right to be parents because without them, we're not a parent. We need to directly listen to them and let them indirectly teach us how to be parents. It's like the book, The 5 Languages of Love, where it says that what you want may not be what I want. So we have to find a way to communicate with one another to understand what each other wants. And the same applies when it comes to children. You cannot possess and own that child, right? You may own their property, their clothes, you may have the money, you may provide the house, but that does not mean you own them. And one day they will grow up. And because they'll grow up, you need to properly offer them proper guidance. If they want to be creative, you have to allow them to be creative. For example, give them a room that's blank walls, and then give them toys, Legos, and what else? Art, right? Colors and so on and so forth, clay. Let them color on the wall. Let them draw on the wall and explore the creativity. If you want to teach them math, find a creative way to do it, right? Parents have to be involved at the same time. You just can't put all the work onto the teachers. You have the first most important job, and that first most important job is being the teacher, right? A lot of parents in a lot of countries send their kids off to be taken care of and babysat by somebody else because the parents don't want the responsibility. Why are you having children then? Why are you having children if you can't be in control of the situation, right? Then that comes down to the next thing, which is pressure. If you think about the pressure that these children have to endure, it's unfair. You think that you know better as to what their life should be like. How do you know what's better for them? You may know based on your experience what may be a good approach, but it may not be emotionally what they want, right? Because this is what I believe. When you live for your parents and you reach to the top or you get to your old age and you don't like what you do, you regret your entire life. But when you make decisions based on what you want to do, and then you mess up in the end, hey, that was my choice and I made that choice. You can't put that blame on anybody else. A lot of parents do that, thinking that they could put the blame on their children or live vicariously through their children. And that's unfair. That's truly unfair. You know, without putting my business out there about my own parents, since they, probably are listening to this. But honesty needs to be honest. My mom would always say, how is it I raise my children under the same roof the same way and they all turn out differently? The thing is, we are all different. We're all different. You can't just 10 MacBook Air computers and go, oh, okay, they're all going to be the same. No, we're all different personalities, different people. You know, my brother's extremely conservative. My sister's more of a free spirit. My other sister says what she needs to say. And my other brother is very out there, special. Me, I'm a bit of every last one of my siblings. And my little youngest brother, he's a baby. not a baby, but like an emotional baby, like a crybaby. He's not listening to this, so we're not worried about that. But, by having so many siblings and looking around my environment, I'm able to really determine and see what is really going on. Like, I used to blame women for the way they are. And then I realized it's the parents, right? A lot of women have the hardest jobs being women, right? And I don't mean corporate jobs. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being women in general. The biggest issue is, so when it comes from older countries, like, that have long histories, they tend to put a lot of different type of pressure on women, such as, if you're a girl, you're not as valuable, one. Two, you're only as valuable as the pig I'm trading with, right? Because in the old days, a poor family, if a poor man has a daughter and he needs food, right, but she's a pretty daughter, and another man has farm animals, he can trade those farm animals for his daughter. A son can go on and find kind of what is the word I'm looking for? He can start his own farm, because obviously men had more rights than women did. And so that way of thinking still continues on today. And a lot of women, in a lot of countries, cultures, still highly depend on the man, even though they have more opportunities now. But that's based on the amount of pressure that parents put on women, right? Men created that bad culture, and then the mothers kind of perpetuate that. They keep that going for some reason, and it's sad, right? So when raising your children, you gotta give them goals that is based off of, like, if you, for example, if I wanted to have my son learn chess, right? I would say what I would do, instead of forcing him to do it, right? I would ask him instead, okay, I'll tell you what, you can quit chess if you want to, but you have to beat 5 people in a row, not at separate different times, but completely in a row. Fine, he'll take on that challenge, right? Because he'll think, hey, 5 people is not that many people. But what happens is, the first person he plays, he wins, he's going to go to the next, because he got that feeling of winning, right? Then what happens is, by the time he gets to the third person, he loses. And what's going to happen? He's going to start over, because he was just so close to 5. By the time he finally gets to 5, and that's the quitting point, he's not going to quit. Why? Because now he found the encouraging part in chess, right? Which is winning and beating others based on his effort. Sometimes you got to allow people to see, or children, to see what they are capable of. By forcing it down their throat and telling them this is what they have to accept, they're going to rebel regardless. I always rebelled. It was fun to rebel, right? I did what I wanted whenever I wanted, because why? Right? My mom used to always say, I paid the cost to be the boss. I paid the cost to be the boss. What she did not understand is, when you translate that into the child's language, it means, so when I get money, I'm the boss. That's what it told me. So I remember the day she put a disc in my car, into my radio, and I said, I pushed the eject button, and I said, guess what? I pay the cost to be the boss now. When you come over to my house, I'm the boss. So I had to throw her words back in her face, not intentionally, but I was finally the boss. And so when it comes to raising children, you got to really take a step ahead and really consider their feelings. When making decisions, big decisions, like moving for a job, right? Even though it's better pay, you should still consider your children's thoughts for that. And if they disagree, you better have a damn good reason why you are moving. Convince them, because it is their life. You're uprooting into another world. And stop forcing your children to live for you. The best way to control your children is to let them live free in a controlled environment, right? But allow that controlled environment to be like In a country, you have laws. If you follow the laws, you can live free. Simple. Don't micromanage your children. Just manage, guide, and lead. Lead by example. Don't tell them something they can't do if you're not going to do it. Let's end it there. And for the next time, we'll maybe elaborate on it more. But for now, peace.